I'm Matt.
I'm Shane. And you are about to listen to an excerpt from a Comic Movie Marks podcast.
So if you like what you hear, make sure you hit that like button real hard, and make sure you subscribe to Comic Movie Marks. And always remember,
if trailer trash can do it,
anyone can do it. One thing, actually, to wrap up our Justice League news is I know a lot of people out there have been dying to know what Nicolas Cage thought of Justice League. And he had a very intense interview with Variety about Justice League.
Ooh.
The Variety reporter asked, "What did you think of Justice League?" Nicolas Cage's answer was, "I thought it was fun." Silence following his response as the reporter waited for him to elaborate. "That's all I'm going to say," he insisted. It was a perfectly awkward situation that even got exacerbated even further when the reporter asked Cage if ever regretted missing his opportunity to play Superman. "No, not at all."
Nice.
Cue even more silence and awkward laughter as the co-host attempt to salvage the conversation next to the stone-faced Cage.
Nice.
Just wanted to do that because I'm sure there is at least
That's fantastic.
3 people out there and Nicolas Cage's mom that wanted to know what he thought about Justice League.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That poor Variety reporter.
You were once supposed to play Superman. Did you see Justice League?
I did.
What'd you think?
I thought it was fun. Yeah, I thought it was fun. That's all I'm gonna say.
Do you still see yourself as playing Superman?
No, not at all.
I think you would have been a good Superman.
Thank you.
I think that's one of the great tragedies of cinema history that didn't happen. I think we were robbed.
That was fucking great.
That's savage, Mr. Cage. Savage.
Didn't give a fuck. That's what that went down to. All right. So now we're going to move on to a little bit more DC news. We're going to talk about Shazam.
Woo!
No, nothing changed. Okay. I was hoping for a bigger penis. Anyway, nothing happened.
I was hoping to be jacked in my penis.
What?
Just, I don't know.
Phrasing?
Again, yeah.
You want to play me hard?
Phrasing? No, I don't.
Well, then you better nut up.
Phrasing.
Because I've swallowed just about as much as I can take from you.
Hey, phrasing!
You know, because Shazam's a bigger person, and I'm all about 5'8", so I'm like a teenage boy, stature-wise.
Anybody ever wanted to know, Shane shopped in the kids section in senior year of high school. Just to kind of elaborate.
Not too far off. Again, so saying Shazam, that's what I was hoping to be, a giant dude. And you know, if I'm bigger, then it's all.
I'm the only one in this room, and you're yelling for a jack penis, and it just leads towards a dark road.
Yes, absolutely.
Crying and everything else. Anyway, so we're gonna talk about Shazam. Go ahead.
All right, so much has been made of the Warner Brothers' efforts to lighten the tone. So we have an article here from Flickering Myth, and it basically
You couldn't find him more.
Perfect. It's perfect. Shazam director discusses the film's humorous tone, which a lot of us have heard that this one is going to be, more lightened up. So we just kind of wanted to talk about the differences and what the director's direction is going to be for the humor on this side. So basically, director David F. Sandberg previously stated that the film will be one of the more fun or lighthearted movies so far in the DC universe. He probably didn't watch Justice League. And then posting on Reddit in a thread asking whether Shazam will be DCEU's first comedy, Sandberg has now elaborated on the film's tone and its emphasis on humor. Sandberg says, "I think it's very funny, but the humor comes more from the situations rather than quippy one-liners." And then in parentheses, "For people who read too much into things, that's not intended as a dig at Marvel or anyone in particular. Quippy one-liners can be great." And I'm assuming that's probably whoever wrote this Flickering Myth article. It probably was a dig at Marvel. So Sandberg continues, "The important thing for me is to mix the funny with a threat that's serious and to also have dramatic moments. All funny all the time takes the weight out of it." Again, probably a dig at Marvel.
Oh, fantastic.
So it's just kind of we're touching some big things.
Talking.
the tips. Touching our tips real quick. We're our phones, people, our phones. Fuck. So yeah, it is kind of interesting. I feel like he is intentionally saying, look, yes, it is going to be lighthearted, but it's not going to be quippy, and we need to have serious moments. Those are intentional things that he's saying, and I do think it is directed at, hey, hold on, it's not going to be like Marvel. It's not going to be like the MCU. That still remains to be seen. Who knows at this point, with Justice League and Marvel 2.0 or whatever you want to call it.
Negative 1.0.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fucking name Marvel Light. Non-fat.
Yeah, the free version.
Soy Marvel.
The ad version of Marvel.
Aphrodophilis Marvel.
What?
Anyway, I don't even know if that shit still exists anymore.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Aphrodophilis milk?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, anyway. No idea. Shazam, I'm pumped for Shazam for the most part. I still don't know who the fuck the guy is that's playing Shazam, Zachary Levi. I just know his last name is a pair of pants that I wear, and he was in some kind of Chuck movie.
Yeah.
So hopefully he will do well. And there's a little boy that's playing in the movie as well. So.
No. Wow, this is news to me.
And we got Mark Strong playing Dr. Savanya. I believe the name
and
was.
Black Adam will not be in it.
Yeah, and we got to stress that Black Adam will not be in the Shazam movie.
Yes, that's the news that we have. We got a Black Adam cast before Shazam was even a thought.
Black Adam cast before fucking DCU started.
Right. But yet here we are.
Fuck, I swear. I think he got casted like that year that Man of Steel came out.
It feels like it. It feels like it.
So now we're going to move on to a rumored slate, the DCU slate that has been rumored by Revenge of the Fans EIC Mario Robles. This is a guy that does not look like a Mario.
He doesn't have a mustache and a plunger thingy.
Or I was about to say tomato. I mean a mushroom.
A tomato? Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't have a tomato either. Weird. Or a Yoshi. He has no Yoshis. So
what kind of fucking Mario are you? You should be ashamed of yourself.
More like Luigi now. Anyway. So again, he came out with this slate idea. Apparently he thinks he's breaking ground or something like that because he basically repeats the ones that we do know about already. Aquaman at the end of this year, Shazam, Wonder Woman 2, but also holds Suicide Squad 2, Flashpoint, and the Batman. So they're still talking about the Batman with Matt Reeves. It's going to be played by Sean Connery because he's going to take over now.
Yep, taking over the mantle.
We need a Scottish Batman or whatever he is.
English or yeah, who knows?
If anybody ever wants to check out a funny interview, because especially now because of how sensitive everybody. But back in the 80s or 90s or something like, they had an interview. I think it was like for Playboy magazine or something like that. And he was talking about women in general, and he's like, if they ever get out of line, I just slap them and shit.
Holy shit.
I'll see if I can find it.
That's our future Batman, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
You did an interview in which you said, it's not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a clenched fist, it's better to do it with an open hand. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I didn't love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
You haven't?
No.
Hey, fucking
you heard it here
Affleck
first.
punched Harley Quinn, so we're on we're on a good start.
True.
True.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
God damn, this show burned at the stake by vegetarians again. So he's talking about those, and then Robles says this isn't necessarily the order it will hit theaters, though. He also added Man of Steel 2 and Nightwing are part of the plans. This is just a rumor, however, and things could change. So take this potential slate with a grain of salt.
With a grain of salt, ladies and gentlemen. Take it with your poison.
Fucking A. I swear, do they not realize first fun, joy, and now grain of salt has been just...
Even Nicolas Cage. How would you like to describe the latest DC movie? Just like a Marvel movie. It's fun.
Fun! Anyway, so we got a potential Man of Steel 2 and Nightwing.
I'm holding my breath, not literally, figuratively, because I'll just pass out and die. But I'm
really,
yeah. If I was holding my breath,
to go, Copernicus. Fucking A.
You're welcome.
Fucking Shane's law right there.
That's what happens.
If you don't breathe, you die. You and Newton should be up on a fucking mantle somewhere.
Thank you. Yes, if you don't breathe, waiting for the fucking DCU to figure itself out, then you will die.
Wow.
Kill me now. So, at this point, with all sorts of bullshit coming out, Gotham City Sirens is now no longer a thing. I know Aquaman is happening, and I know Shazam is happening.
Yeah.
That's it.
And Wonder Woman 2. I think we can guarantee. I think we can guarantee Wonder Woman 2 at least, because that's the only thing that's made them money.
True. Yeah. and
And had success anyway.
Yeah.
And success.
Yeah.
Combine those.
Right.
Because the other ones did make money.
Yeah.
Well, except for Justice League.
True.
But Wonder Woman made them money and had success. They're definitely going to come out with a Wonder Woman 2.
Yeah, critical success.
Suicide Squad 2, I don't know. I don't know why you'd be pushing that unless you really had an idea.
Do-over? That's the only thing that I can think of is they're like, oh, wait, hold on. David Ayers, is he coming back for it?
No, they had that other guy that was assigned to it. I can't remember his name right now, but they had another guy because David Ayers was supposed to do Gotham City Sirens.
Right.
And then he got moved to something else. There's some other project like the Cats of...
Yeah.
The Cats of Meows or something like that. And
sure.
Let's
go with that.
But he got pushed off somewhere else too as well. And I don't think he's having a very good time after Bright, the Will Smith movie.
Oh, did he do that?
Yeah, he did that. Like, people were panning the shit out of it. Like, and then he was making fun of critics and stuff. Like people are like, "This is the biggest piece." Like critics would literally be saying, "Like this is the biggest piece of shit." And he's like, "Oh my god, what great constructive criticism! Like this is the greatest review I've ever seen." Or he was like,
I saw that. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, he was fucking. Awesome. He was pissed.
That was awesome.
He was pissed about that. So I don't know if he would come back for Suicide Squad 2, but when people start talking about like the Joker origin movie, Gotham City Sirens, the Harley Quinn Joker movie, and like all these other ones, I think people jump the gun too much when these like sources and insiders say stuff like this. And I think what it is there's these concepts going on, and more than likely what Warner Brothers is going to do is try to formulate all this into one movie. I think we might have a Joker origin. We might have like a more interaction with Harley Quinn and Joker, and we'll have a Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. I think that's where all this is going to go. We might have Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Catwoman as well. They'll be part of the Suicide Squad as well. And I think it's just kind of like a culmination of putting these scripts together and making a fucking movie out of it. I think that's where these ideas are spitballed, and then people take them as fucking fact. Like, whatever, Martin Scorsese, he's gonna fucking produce and stuff. Like, that's probably talking, he's probably getting some things together for him, but it's not necessarily gonna mean this is the fucking movie that's happening right now.
Yeah, well, there were a couple, like Gotham City Sirens, I want to say Nightwing and Flashpoint. All of those.
We got directors for that now.
For Flashpoint.
Yeah, so that's probably gonna happen.
Yeah, so all of the, well, yeah, sure. But all of those had logos that were on a backdrop at a.
They had a Cyborg
Comic-Con
logo. All right.
Right. But that
Cyborg movie.
Yes, but that means that there was a plan and there was a direction. It's just unfortunate that they're jumping so far ahead and then reeling it back. Like, if you have a plan, let the plan come to fruition. You know, well, why am I even talking?
We said because, it before.
Yeah, here's Justice League, and they obviously didn't let that happen.
So we'll see what happens, and Nightwing too as well. Again, it's going to be played by Sean Connery. He's going to be Nightwing as well. And
yeah. Well, I mean, he's a great actor.
Nicolas Cage is going to play Nightwing.
Oh, that's right.
He's coming in as that.
Yeah.
And they're going to go to a prison in Arkham, and he's going to welcome to Arkham. No. Welcome to the Rock? No? Okay. Anyway. and
I like it.
And Joker's going to release a toxin that's going to destroy San Francisco, even though Arkham is in Gotham. No.
Makes sense.
Is this movie pitch working for anybody?
Yeah, I like it. That's what's rumored. Our inside source here from Comic Movie Marks. That's Matt. That's what they say.
No, I'm inside something, all right, but not fucking WB.
Whoa. That's what that is.
Don't move.
So long, gay boys.
Oh man. All right, moving right along.
Okay.
Speaking of sexual.
All right. So real quick, the internet. You know, we have a podcast and we enjoy this. We have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We enjoy it.
It's fun stuff.
It's cool to talk to people. It's cool to interact with people. It's cool to make content. But man, does the internet suck sometimes.
A lot of the time.
Yeah. I was going to say a lot of the time. There is just so many things you see and you're like, society should not have a voice. Maybe the First Amendment should maybe have a little holes in it sometimes. It's just like
Big Brother should just crush it down.
Obviously we don't mean that, but at the same time, It just at the same time, you just see certain comments and certain things said, and you're just like, wow. And then when it comes to something so simple as a superhero movie, it becomes a problem. And it's weird. It's now the trolls have officially gotten bored with making fun of the DC universe. And now...
Well, and there's a long time before the next movie comes out, so they got to fill gaps somewhere.
Yeah. So now the Marvel universe has been taking a hit with Thanos' pink CGI.
Right.
You know, they don't like pink, apparently. I don't know, I love pink. You know what I mean? and that got like railed through and really hard. You know, that got destroyed. And
So we're just done with phrasing, right? That's not a thing anymore?
and now all of a sudden, there's this thing bitching about Ant-Man and the Wasp.
And the Wasp's attire?
Costume?
I guess? Yes.
Her outfit, her suit.
Yep. Her armor.
Yes, her armor. Yes, her phallic yeah. 40 in armor.
So, before we started recording, I told this to Matt that I started seeing images of the Wasp's armor before I saw the Wasp. It was people just cutting it up. And as Matt said, it's the internet, it's Instagram, it's Twitter, it's what floats around. And I was seeing that and I'm like, what is this from? What is that? I don't even know what the fuck that is. and then eventually I saw the actual image that they released of Ant-Man and Wasp. And I'm like, okay, that's where it's from. I guess I can kind of see it based on how they utilize it. Yeah. So basically her 8-pack and her tits, turn them around and it looks like a penis.
Yeah. Turn upside down and you got a penis.
Yep.
And it points towards her vagina.
Right. Exactly. So people are all up in arms and people are saying, you got to be shitting me that after all the concepts that they probably went through for this armor and not one single person noticed that it looks like a dick aiming right at her vagina. So yeah, as Matt said, I chalked this up to an additional Disney thing that's kind of rumored of, is it an accident or is it an intentional thing of like, oh, let's see if we can get away with this. Some of the things I'm sure, especially if you were raised in the 90s, you definitely know of these. It just harkens back to, totally reminded me of, on the VHS cover of The Little Mermaid, one of the little palace things looks like a dick. I don't even know what they're called.
Penis towers.
Yeah, penis towers, exactly. Another common one with The Little Mermaid in the wedding scene.
Pope.
The Pope. Yep, thank you. It looks like he has a boner.
Yep.
Yep. And then people were saying no, it's his knee.
The prince is pretty hot
because how smart he is. Hell yeah, he is. A very common one that was floating around for a while is in The Rescuers, when both of the main characters are kind of like flying through the city. They go past this
like a roller coaster or something.
Yeah, they go past this window and somehow
it's like a pair of 50s tits.
Yep. In the original cut on like VHS or something like that, this was out there, and
they
then
inserted it. Yeah,
and in post-production, just as a joke or something like that. Another common one that I'm sure a ton of people have heard of in the Who Framed Roger Rabbit, when the taxi cab crashes and Jessica Rabbit kind of like jumps out of it. Her dress flies open. She's not wearing any underwear.
Meat flaps flying.
Gotcha. Yep. Exactly. Another one, which I didn't even, I'm going off on an article if you couldn't have guessed. I don't remember all of these. Some of them I totally did.
He's dedicated to this.
And this is exactly what it reminded me of. So it's just another one of these, but they make me laugh. One I didn't know of is in Hercules. Hercules punches the river guardian and a horseshoe hits him in the head, causing a phallic-shaped bump to grow out of his head. It eventually grows into a penis shape, including morphing his eyebrows into a set of testicles. And it does look like a dick. Another one that was pretty common. I've heard of this several times. In The Lion King, Simba's laying down on a cliff and dust kind of flies up in the sky and forms the word sex for a brief moment. And then one of the most popular ones that I've seen float around for a really long time, it's from Mickey Mouse Blotted. I'm not even sure what this is, but it's coming from the wonderful minds working for Euro Disney. Blotted has a cover art showing Mickey with his hand around a large blue penis, aka Minnie's body. And I think it's a little bit of a stretch. Those are some flabby balls, if that's what that's supposed to be. So, anyways, yes, as Matt said, I'm dedicated to this, but that was the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, it's one of those things. Some of them maybe a happy accident. I don't know. The Pope's penis. That totally looks like a penis, but it's like these things that have floated around for years. I remember my cousin had the VHS copy of The Little Mermaid, and we knew about it, when I was a kid. I'm like, oh, look, it's a penis. So that's floated around for years. Just chalk another one up for Disney. That's all it is. Congratulations, internet.
Wasps like penis. That's all I got. Yep, that's all I got. Okay, so now we're moving on.
And on that note,
now I actually want to talk about a little bit about some New Mutants news that came out, because this is actually one of my highly anticipated movies. It got pushed back to February of 2019, but I'm very, very excited for it. But the director came out and said in New Mutants that there won't be any costumes. So there's a lot of comic book characters that we know about, but there will not be any costumes, which makes sense for the premise of this movie. So, we'll see what happens with that. I really honestly wasn't expecting costumes. I'm actually kind of surprised that people were like, oh my god, no costumes. But, whatever. I say, good. We don't need costumes. A lot of people were really stuck on costumes. Like, that's the thing about X-Men. It's like, Wolverine need to be in his yellow suit, and why is everybody wearing black leather? I'm like, whatever. I don't mind costumes. I think they're fine, cool and everything. But just the fact that it has to be in that costume, it just always blew me away that people were so dedicated to a certain costume.
I get Wolverine to a certain extent because his costumes were so iconic. Like that was one of the biggest things that I remember. And actually, good portions of the X-Men are like that. But, one of the things I remember as a kid from the X-Men cartoon was Wolverine and his costume.
True.
I went as Wolverine as like a 6-year-old. And so I can it just unfortunately doesn't fit in what they were trying to do.
Right.
But I do kind of get like we've had all these movies and he did not once wear the iconic costume that we're so familiar with from the 90s.
That's a good point.
So,
that is a good point. One other little bit of news about New Mutants. Because of the premise and because what was happening in the movie, I was under the impression that they were aiming for an R rating for this movie. That's kind of what I was going with.
It looks like it.
Because of what they did in Logan was testing on the children and stuff like that. And I thought they were taking that premise and now making a movie out of it. But apparently, according to the director, says the New Mutants will be the hardest PG-13 ever made. It seems that the X-Men spin-off, the New Mutants, will be pushing the rating to the absolute limit. Director Josh Boone spoke with Empire Magazine recently and said that the film will probably be the hardest PG-13 ever made. I mean, we've pushed it. The horror is pretty dark, but there's also an emotional core, too. If I can scare you and make you cry, that's the goal. Okay, that's kind of like what my sex life is like, but all right. So, other than that, I guess we're going to get a pretty hard PG-13 New Mutants movie. I'm not disappointed necessarily by that. I thought they were going to go R, and I really thought Fox was going to lean towards like a lot of R-type movies. And I kind of thought this leaned towards that, but you can make a horror movie PG-13. And I mean,
yeah, it's happened.
So that actually kind of makes me feel a little bit better that they're not just going for the Saw route where it's just going to be gore and stuff. Maybe they are going to go for the more intense thriller, like heart-pounding moments. But I am worried about super pointless jump scares and stuff in it.
I am too.
So hopefully that's not where they're leaning towards, and hopefully that's not what they think will make the movie scarier. But hardest PG-13 movie ever made. I'll be the judge of that. We will see on that one when it comes to it. February of 2019.
Yes. Be on the lookout for that episode next year. On to more Fox News, I guess. We got
Not Fox News.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Kind of misspoke.
Fair and balanced.
Yes.
Hey.
Are we really?
No.
Just like Fox News. All right.
We're not talking shit. Get over yourself if you love Fox.
Yes. I would hope at the very least no one could guess where our political
well, maybe after that
line.
They might be like, oh, fucking liberals.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking bleeding heart pieces of shit.
That's what we want. And then we say shit about hippies. I think you mentioned something about hippies at the very beginning. So
Did I?
People don't know.
If anything, if I need
Vegetarians.
to keep it up, vegetarians, pieces of shit.
Equal opportunity offender.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. So what else? Yep, and we're a bunch of flaming retards or whatever the fuck you
said. We talked about jerking each other off. Shane didn't move, so that helped. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. You're one of very few to make it to the end.
Yes, thank you very much.
Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to Comic Movie Marks Podcast and hit the notification bell. You know, all these fucking YouTube channels say this shit, so I'm going to say it now.
Yes, it's perfect. And if you want to hear our full podcast, you can check out our podcast on iTunes or any other podcast subscription service.
Make sure you subscribe. Thanks again.